Hello, I'm Mehtap Doğan. I took my BA degree from Bilkent University Philosophy Department and I completed my MA and PhD at Ankara Yıldırım Beyazıt University, where I am now working as an associate professor. Doing my PhD, I focused on the connection between AI and consciousness. After that, I continued to research on topics like AI and art, AI and values, AI and ethics. Because I have been thinking about AI, because I've been thinking about the philosophy of AI for a while, integrating AI into my courses has been a journey for me. Because of my PhD studies, it was on AI and consciousness. I worked on philosophy of artificial consciousness because artificial consciousness is a big philosophical issue. Because consciousness is a big philosophical issue, I started to think on how AI thinks, how AI can become conscious, like these issues. I use a few teaching tasks. First, I use ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT to help generate quick summaries of complex readings. ChatGPT saves times for me and lets students to focus on deeper analysis. I also use Grammarly and language tool to give students feedback, basic feedback on their writing and on their grammar. That way, students can fix their simple errors before I check their work more closely and more deeply. Another tool I like is Midjourney because Midjourney helps me to create visual examples of abstract ideas. This can spark discussion or help students grasp difficult concepts. I choose these tools because they are easy to use and they are reliable and they make my classes more engaging. And many students are very excited about AI, are very curious about AI, so it keeps them interested and motivated for the class. I faced with problems when I was starting to use AI in my classrooms. First, some students worried about AI because they think that AI would oversimplify their deeper philosophical topics, and they are worried to use AI. And both the students and I need time for learning the new tools and new platforms and models. I think the biggest concern for using AI in courses is ethical. In my philosophy of AI class, I had to make sure AI didn't weaken academic integrity or AI didn't overshadow independent critical thinking. To handle these issues, I used few methods. I communicated students openly about how AI would be used. I introduced it gradually. Firstly, I make tests about using AI, then I use it. I used AI gradually, not for all the course, but step by step I'm using AI in my courses. I firstly tested small projects before making AI as a part of my main coursework. In the first week, I showed the students the AI tools and explain why we are using AI in this course. I stress them how AI can help their learning, but also I remind students what AI can do and can't do. I want from students to view AI as a helper, as an assistant, not a replacement for their own ideas. I think for this, one good method is to use AI-assisted drafting and discussion methods, step-by-step method. In this method, students write an outline and or a rough draft themselves without any AI. This keeps their own ideas at the center. Then they ask an AI model like GPT for feedback. They might want tips on clarity or they want tips for logical flow. I encourage my students to look for any patterns the AI points out, like hidden fallacies. Then next, students compare AI suggestions with their own work. They decide which tips are useful, which tips to use, or which tips to reject, and they explain why they choose. This method shows them they are the charge of the final result, not the AI. And then we meet in small groups or in class as a class to go over the AI's feedback. We talk about argument quality, we talk about potential AI biases, we talked about what is good reasoning means. Students also share some moments that when they disagreed with AI, and these moments lead to deeper debates about philosophy and ethics. Using this step-by-step method helps students see AI as a partner, not a replacement. Setting clear rules for when and how to use AI has led to greater students' acceptance. It also boosted their analytical skills. This approach handles the technical, teaching, and ethical issues that come with using AI in a philosophy course. There are clear benefits about using AI. First, AI tools save time. They summarize complex texts, they give quick feedback, quick feedback on student drafts. That means we spend more class time on deeper discussion. We don't spend time for just correcting the errors in grammar. Students are more engaged in class. When they watch AI analyze texts or critique their writing, they get curious. In philosophy of AI course, they even interact with AI in a real time. They debate its ethics and reasoning. This hands-on approach leads to stronger classroom discussion and a better grasp of both AI and philosophy. And I see better critical thinking and writing in students' homeworks. Students learn to question AI's suggestions, what not to keep, and they explain why. This process sharpens their reasoning and helps them develop good academic habits like clear argumentation. Overall, AI frees me from my routine tasks. I can focus on my real philosophical inquiry. And when students see how AI can help them, they dive deeper into the material and richer discussion. Most students have reacted positively. They see that AI tools don't replace their own thinking, but just enhance it. At first, some worried about using AI for summaries or feedback because they think that it might be weaken their engagement. But once they tried by-step approach, where they still make their own final judgments, they became more open and more excited. In my philosophy of AI course, many students enjoyed seeing how the AI thinks. They were eager to challenge it, which led to better discussions and a stronger grasp of the course material. My colleagues have had mixed at this issue because some want to use similar methods in their classes, but others worry about relying too much on AI and they worried about harming academic integrity. To ease these concerns, I explain how I set limits on AI use, require original student work as a base, and stay transparent about when I plan and why we use AI. For different social science fields. Instead of general platforms, we will use models. We will see models like designed for philosophy, designed for sociology, designed for anthropology. Each with its own created data. This could mean better text analysis for philosophy, deeper analytics for sociology, or improved simulations for psychology. Personalized learning will also grow. AI can adapt to each student's needs, suggesting just the right reading level or focusing on areas where students struggles. In social sciences, this can help students handle complex theories and learn faster. In my own classes, I want to do more than just text analysis or automated feedback. In philosophy of AI course, I plan to use real-time AI ethics simulations. Students can enter moral dilemmas to this simulation and see how AI responds, which will spark debates about bias, accountability, and moral reasoning, ethical reasoning. In my course, The Research and Method in Philosophy, I hope to let AI help students not only summarize sources, but also connect their ideas from different fields. I think AI is more than productivity tool. It can spark deeper thinking. By refining how we use AI, and staying transparent, staying ethical and collaborative, we can make learning richer for everyone. I think they should start small. They shouldn't change their entire course at once. They should try a small test activity firstly. For example, have students use an AI tool to analyze a short reading, see how it works before making bigger changes. Then they should explain to students why and how they are using AI. Let students know it's meant to help their learning, not replace their thinking. Clear rules on where AI fits into tasks and how they should use it. Whether AI summarizes a text or suggests revisions, ask students to review the AI's suggestions to AI's output carefully. Have them decide what is useful and explain why. This shows that they remain in the control of the final ideas. AI tools can change fast. AI tools change fast, so our teaching methods should adapt it. Ask students often if the AI activities help them learn. Adjust our approach each semester so AI remains a valuable and a responsible part of our teaching. How well it helps students, but sometimes it might fail to meet expectations. Both experiences are valuable. Above all, I would emphasize staying curious, staying transparent, and staying ethical in our AI practices. We should encourage our students to question the AI's outputs, recognize its limits, and see AI as a partner rather than a solution. If we keep those ideas in mind, AI can bring new energy and deeper understanding in our classes. Thank you.
Thank you very much to join us